Hi, Steve with the Options Hunter here. Just wanted to show you what I go through every morning within my AIQ charts, looking for MACD divergences and double tops and bottom. What I have here is the Dale Best list of tickers. You can see them on the right hand side there. I have a daily and a weekly chart here. Obviously I could do other time frames, and all this data of course is on my local drive, so when I click the first chart in here, I'm looking for divergences, and once I have it here, I just scroll down looking at the charts. You can see you can quickly go from one chart to another. So here's quite a strong divergence to the downside on the daily itself. Not a very clear pattern, but the MACD is clearly trending down. On the weekly, we've got a fairly similar pattern, so this is one I tend to tag to a list I have called Dale Day, and in here I'll go back and look at this a little bit more later. So it's in there, and then we move on to another chart, and I go through this every single morning like this, looking for divergences and setups. And there's Amgen, which is looking at a nice pattern here, and we have a divergence to the upside on the MACD on the daily. Weekly is kind of pushing to the downside, so if there's a possibility of a move up here, it's going to be not for a very long time. But that one we tagged the list already, and actually the other day, because it was already setting up. So going down, skipped Amazon, not much going on there. Abercrombie, of course, is already way down. And again, I'm looking for divergences on both daily and weekly here, so I'm doing both at the same time. And I can keep going down this list. I'm already into the Bs. You can see how quickly you can change from one chart to another just by scrolling down this list here. Once I've tagged those I want to have a look at more in detail, I can actually switch to that list of tickers that I put in there to give some more attention to. It's called Dale Day. I switched to Dale's list, and now I'm looking at these just a little bit more closely on the daily charts. Not a great pattern as we saw in that one. Amgen's worth keeping an eye on for sure. Look for entry on that to the upside. Price action says it should be around the 172 area, maybe higher. Here's one from the other day, AZO, AutoZone. It's a very high stock. I've marked it back here. It did actually pull back quite well, so there's a pretty good divergence right there on that stock. BP I had in here from time before. This one's still kind of setting up. The MACD hasn't really settled down. FCX, of course, can't ignore that one. This one had a strong down divergence back over here. It's been in my list for a while. That one played out very nicely. FDX, FedEx, of course. We had this one in here, I think, on the weekly. Yes, there's a nice setup on the weekly here. But this is still turning down, so we're waiting for that to turn up on the chart itself. GLD, we had this one the other day. Had a nice play, only held it for most of one day. It's shot up pretty sharply here, and of course it's already strongly up even more from this divergence here. OIH, I think this was a weekly one too. Yep, again a good divergence showing here, and there's a turn up we're waiting for on the weekly here. On the daily it's still looking like it needs to set up, yeah. And this is RSX. Yeah, there's kind of a topping pattern beginning here. We're just keeping an eye on that one on the daily. On the weekly, not much in there at the moment. So, looking at Amgen, I like that chart. We'll take a closer look at that in real time. That's it for now.